What is up, you guys? Ryan Brewer back here, the host of Michael Myers Reacts, and me and Slasher Movies are here to do Talkin' Horror 3. This one's very fun. We're going to be talking about the future of Freddy Krueger and the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, what we think they're going to do with it. Also, stick to the end of this podcast because I'm going to make a little bit of an announcement about the Horror Trio Episode 2 that only you guys are going to get exclusively on this podcast before I actually announce it publicly to everybody. But yeah, this is going to be really fun. I've been wanting to talk about, my thoughts of what they're going to do with Freddy and the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and let Slasher go first. And what do you think they're going to do, bro, with Freddy?
Thanks for having me on, man, once again. As far as the Nightmare on Elm Street movies go, I really think they should get Robert Englund to come back for one more. Because people could argue that he's getting pretty old, but I mean, he is 72 years old, but with the technology we have now, with CGI, with stunt doubles and all that, I really think they can pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Another thing, too, though, playing the character of Freddy Krueger, it doesn't take a lot to play him. Freddy never really did big stunts anyways in the franchise.
Yeah, that's right.
But I agree with you. I think the future of Freddy for me, though, I don't see Robert coming back, to be honest, because he's saying, he's too old, and he said before that he was done playing Freddy, but he also said that there may be one more left in him. I think he's kind of back and forth with it. I'm not going to say it's impossible, that he will come back, because he might or he might not. We really don't know. But I think the future of the Freddy Krueger character, I think someone else is going to be portraying Freddy here soon, and it's not going to be Robert. And I'm not completely mad at that, as long as that person can do justice to the character of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, of course, man. As long as the new actor can step in and really make it his own, similar to what Jackie Earle Haley. Sorry, I don't know why that name wasn't kind of coming out of my mouth, but Jackie Earle Haley to me did a great job. He really made the character his own, and I think he did the best of what the script gave him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't really do a copy of the legendary character and base it off Robert Englund's performance, because it just wouldn't work. You can't really copy. But yeah, I mean, if the new actor decides to step in and do a really good job and make a very new, convincing Freddy Krueger, I'm all on board for that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they should copy Robert because, Robert is Robert, and at the end of the day, that new actor is their own person. And trying to copy Robert would probably really screw the character up, because it would be kind of awkward seeing somebody trying to be Robert. Now, I can see the actor maybe, paying homage to what Robert did. But, I don't think they should copy Robert. I know Dave McRae is going to be playing Freddy Krueger in Dylan's New Nightmare, which is a short film set to come out sometime this year on YouTube. And I'm very excited for that because I'm a Dave McRae fan, and I want to see how he portrays the character of Freddy. But I wanted to ask you this. I know that the rights went back to the Wes Craven estate. Do you think they're going to make a featured film, or do you think they're going to go with that HBO Max show or whatever they were talking about?
That's a really good question. Wow. I really do believe that they're going to go with a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because I think there isn't enough source material for the Freddy franchise, I guess you could say. I mean, there are a lot of movies, but there isn't enough source material. There's not a lot of books about Freddy Krueger and all that.
Yeah.
So to make it into a series, I think it would be kind of hard to morph into.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's possible in the future. They could do books and comics about Freddy, but I mean, it's been done with Marvel and Star Wars and all that stuff. So I do think it's possible, but I really think they're going to do a feature film.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to bring back Robert Englund, I'm not sure. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
I think he has one more performance left in him. But if they're not going to do that, I really do think they're going to do another remake down the line.
Yeah. I know they have, like you said, there's not really much books, novels about Freddy or anything like that. The only comic book series I can think of is Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, which I haven't got to read, and I would love to because I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. I'm a huge fan of all three of them. But I think I could see the positives and the negatives of a TV series for Freddy. Because if they did a TV series, they would have more time to expand the story and go off of that. But at the same time, like you said, it would be very difficult to do a Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy TV series. They did, I forget what it's called, Freddy's Nightmares, I think, in like the 80s. And Freddy wasn't even the main focus of that show. It was Freddy kind of like hosting a show and not really being in it. And to me, that's kind of cheesy and not really cool. But I don't know.
I've actually never heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, you should look it up sometimes. I think it lasted like 2 seasons, and Freddy's only in like 6 of the episodes. The other episodes, he just hosts it.
Wow, was Robert Englund in it?
Yeah, it was Robert.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think they could do maybe a series. I would rather them do a featured film because, like you said, it'd be hard to do a series because they would have to focus on something other than just Freddy. Because if they did a series that was just Freddy, they would run out of stuff quick. Because Freddy is just this dream demon who kills people in their nightmares. That's basically it. And if every episode is Freddy just killing people, that's going to get old very quick. Now, a featured film, that's the route I would go.
Same here. I'm exactly on the same boat that you are. I mean, also, I think it would be a nice nod to Wes Craven because, it's kind of hard to believe that he's been gone for, 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, I believe he died in 2015, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. It would just be a really nice nod to him, and I think it could be executed well. I know that Robert wants to do it, but he's not sure if he can.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see it.
Yeah, I think he's on the fence with it. I think he's like, yeah, I can do it, and then some days he's like, nah, I'm too old, I don't want to do this. But like I said earlier in the podcast, Freddy really doesn't take a lot of stunts. If you watch the Nightmare franchise, Robert really doesn't do a lot. You know what I mean? There's nothing crazy in that franchise that he really has to do.
Right, and I mean, Robert Englund's in pretty good shape from what I saw. I know he made an appearance on the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, and
2018,
he
I believe.
To be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it was 2018, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, only 2 years ago. And I mean, even Nick Castle from the original Halloween, he's back as the Shape, and well, he was in one scene, but I mean, he came back and he got himself into shape. I mean, it's always possible.
Yeah, I was about to say, I seen him on the Goldbergs in 2018, and of course it was really cool to see Robert as Freddy in the makeup again, but, he's in decent shape for his age, but if he was to play Freddy again, I feel like he would have to lose a little bit of weight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think, though.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I was just thinking this, what would you think about a different kind of Freddy, more like an aged Freddy, give him that kind of look with the prosthetics and makeup and all that stuff?
Yeah, see, that's not a bad idea because that would go well with Robert, especially at his age now. I think they could do maybe, I mean, I'm just throwing something out there. They could possibly do a movie where Freddy, because throughout the movies he basically looks the same. I know the makeup changes a little bit, but they could do one to where something happens to Freddy to where he actually becomes his true age, maybe. That would be kind of cool. Maybe, this sounds stupid to say, but maybe CGI just Freddy in the beginning, maybe the first 5 minutes, and make, young Robert Englund Freddy, and then something happens to where he's now Freddy, how the age that Robert Englund is now.
Yeah, that's a really clever way of bringing that back. Also, would you like to see this movie be completely scary or more self-aware?
I know New Nightmare's kind of self-aware, but I would rather them go back to the roots and make the movie scary again.
I completely agree, man. And also, I mean, there's so many other classic horror franchises that were resurrected, Halloween, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis appearing for her role. And I mean, I don't see why the same thing can't be done for A Nightmare on Elm Street. I just think it has loads of potential. Obviously, I think Robert Englund should just, have one more last performance. And, they could always expand the series, with TV and all that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I think this. I've said this on the channel before. I think Halloween 2018 was the resurrection of these classic slashers. Jamie came back, and then when she came back, that's when Robert was kind of saying maybe I have one more left in me. And now recently he's been saying, of course, he's too old again. But I heard that even Heather Langenkamp would come back to play Nancy, or just come back in general. Also, we had news probably about 3 or 4 months ago about Scream coming back. Spyglass doing a new Scream film. So I can definitely see Nightmare on Elm Street being resurrected. And whenever Friday the 13th gets the right crap fixed, I'm sure that that'll be back. I've heard numerous, like maybe 2 or 3 different people saying they have a script for Friday the 13th already. So Halloween definitely resurrected slashers in general. So I could definitely see Nightmare coming back soon.
Right. And to go off topic, is Paramount still having that lawsuit over Friday the 13th?
I know the lawsuit is against Cunningham and Victor Miller. Last time I read, I just did the update the other day. Shelley from Part 3, Friday the 13th Part 3, he's actually a lawyer, and he said that a decision should be decided in May or June of this year, so we're not far from that.
Okay, I mean, that's good. I mean, I think it's time we get a new Friday the 13th movie. Mm-hmm. They got to do something with the series.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in my video. I was like, this needs to end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Freddy could come back before Jason, though, especially since the Wes Craven estate has the rights to Freddy, and they're already taking pitches, and they said that 4 or 5 months ago. I read in the article that they're taking pitches for full-length films or an HBO Max show, which I don't know which one they're going to do.
Oh, wow. So, let's say hypothetically they were going to do a remake. Is there any actor in particular that you would like to see portray the character?
I haven't really thought about it much because I always say this, Robert Englund will always be my Freddy Krueger no matter what. No matter how many people come through and play Freddy, it'll always be Robert Englund. I don't really think about who else, could play Freddy, but I did hear on a video that this person on this video, it's not reliable because I don't know this person personally, but they said they know somebody who said that they were talking about possibly Bill Skarsgård playing Freddy.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Personally, to me, I think the best person that could play Freddy is Willem Dafoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I really think he has the right stature. He's got like a really big jawline, and then he's got the kind of like the nose that kind of hangs down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he's the perfect choice, and he just has that presence, Mm-hmm. I would have liked to see him portray as the Joker, but obviously that never happened. But I think he's right for the role.
Yeah, maybe. I think, I know this person isn't a big, this isn't a movie star or whatever, but Dave McRae is going to, like I said, he's going to be playing Freddy in Dylan's New Nightmare. I'm not sure if you know who Dave McRae is. Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
But, he can, like, spot on sound like Freddy, which I think, that's an advantage, because sounding like Freddy is a challenge in its own, like, it's a challenge. It's just a challenge.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Dave McRae's performance and seeing what he can do.
Yeah, I don't know, though. I never really think about who should play Freddy. I'm not mad if Robert doesn't come back. I mean, he gave us 8 films with him as Freddy, which, the 7 original Nightmare films and Freddy vs. Jason. So if he doesn't come back, I'm not mad. What he gave us is really incredible and amazing, but if they did announce that Robert was coming back for one more, I would be super hyped, of course.
Yeah, same here. And like you said before, if they are going to do one more, it should be a one-off.
Yeah.
Maybe a sequel to the first one and retcon the rest, or they could do a sequel to Part 3.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Obviously, they could do one to Part 5 and all that stuff, but, like, why? I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of those movies, but, yeah, I mean, it's always possible, man. You never know.
Yeah, I think they should do possibly a direct sequel to the original Part 3 or New Nightmare.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
But we'll just have to see, what the future really holds for Freddy. I don't think Freddy is dead. I made a video called Is It Too Late for Freddy and Jason? And, it kind of does run through my mind. It's almost like, are we ever going to see Jason again because of this lawsuit crap? Are we ever going to see Freddy again because of Robert, on and off the fence of playing him? But I don't think they're dead. I just think they're waiting. I think there'll be a day where these two horror icons, Freddy and Jason, will just hit us with a bang.
Agreed, man. And like you said before, overall they just have to make this movie scary, and I'll be happy with a few kind of Freddy quips, but not overly quippy like he is in the later sequels.
Yeah, they should make it scary and still give Freddy some of his one-liners. I mean, people fail to realize this. Freddy had one-liners in the original film.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the, this is God, and he's still kind of jokey when Tina takes his face off and he's a skeleton. Like, that's jokey stuff.
Yeah, for real. Also, people have been saying, like, poor Robert Englund, he's 72 and he's got to put on all that makeup because all those prosthetics must take a really, really long time.
Yeah, I believe, I don't know if I'm right on this, but I believe somewhere said before that he would be in the chair for 2 hours in the beginning, and I think it was also 2 hours to get it off. So altogether, he'd be in the chair for about 4 hours a day.
Wow, that's crazy.
I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he's really dedicated to the role. I mean, he was able to pull it off for Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why he can't do it once more. But, I mean, it's up to the man,
Exactly.
we can't tell him what to do. I mean, it's all up to him. But, yeah, I would really like to see him back for one more. And if they're going to reboot it, I would like to see someone else portray the character, and pay respects to Robert's role.
Yeah, the thing is with the Goldberg episode, I don't think he was in the chair that long for that, since it's just, a TV show episode. He was probably in the chair at most for like an hour, probably, because you can kind of tell that the makeup, of course, it wasn't as detailed as they were in the movies.
Mm-hmm. Also, something I just realized, there's a bunch of talented artists out there, and I think if he really doesn't want to take the time to put on the makeup, maybe why not get like a silicone mold of his face and put it on that way, like a mask?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, possibly. I mean, there's a lot of ideas they could do. I mean, they could even do this. Here, let me throw this idea at you. What would you think about somebody else who's younger playing Freddy that kind of looks similar to Robert, but not exactly? Maybe this person looks a little different in the makeup. But what if that person played Freddy and Robert Englund voiced over his lines, so it's Robert's voice but a new actor?
That would be actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea at all. Yeah, Robert Englund, to me, he kind of looks like, people might disagree, but he has the same sort of vibe that Robin Williams had. Like, actually, like, face-wise, structure-wise.
Yeah, kind of.
So, if they found someone that kind of looks like Robin or Robert, I mean, maybe it could work, like a younger actor.
Yeah. Yeah,
but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we just have to wait and see what the future holds. But, you got anything else you want to throw out there, or?
I mean, basically, I really think they should just cash it in and try and see if it works. Because, like I said before, every other classic horror franchise has had some kind of sequel or remake in the works currently.
Yeah.
I like to call it the Hollywood remake generation because that's pretty much what it is. It's all rehashes and remakes now, and I haven't really come to accept it because I love originality. I love new ideas.
Yeah.
But as far as this project goes, like, what else are they going to do? Like, what's the point of doing another remake? I see the point, but, again, it all depends on the execution.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. We're in that generation of where it's just remakes. I don't think remakes are necessarily bad if they're good, but when you're throwing so much of them at us and you're, taking a classic and trying to remake it and you just make a terrible movie, it's like, come on now.
Yeah, same. And, I believe the last movie Robert Englund was in was Freddy vs. Jason, correct?
I don't know if it was the last movie he was in. It was the last time he portrayed Freddy. Or the last movie
that he portrayed Freddy.
Yeah, it was the last movie he portrayed Freddy. I'm not sure what his last movie was. I know he has a show coming out this year called True Terror or something like that. It's going to be on Travel Channel.
Yeah, that was my next question, to see which show he was in, his last show or movie.
Yeah, it's going to be, I know True Terror is a show that's coming out in March. I actually want to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about the future of Freddy and what Slasher has to say about the future of Freddy. We're basically just going to have to wait and see, just like everyone else. But I'm excited to see what the future does hold for Freddy. And when there is news on it, I will definitely let you guys know. But before I end this podcast, I want to give you guys a little bit of an update of the Horror Trio Episode 2 that is coming out this Friday. I'm making the announcement here if you guys made it to the end of this podcast. This Friday on the Horror Trio, me, Drew Shaw's Horror Reviews, and Horror Princess will be doing Why We Love the Nightmare franchise. So you guys get 2 Freddy so-called videos this week. I wanted to do it here first, but I'm announcing it publicly Wednesday on my social media. So if you guys made it to the end of the video, you guys know what the Horror Trio Episode 2 is going to be. If you guys did enjoy this podcast, please leave a like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next Talkin' Horror.